Hey guys, this is Wolf Atlas here, bringing you another episode of War of the Divisions, and today is day 5 of the quick pick matches, and we're gonna get this started right away as our opponent was chosen pretty quickly, and I wasn't expecting that to happen, but I was expecting the opponent to use Elena, so I decided to go with Coral, Halloween Leela, and Warrior Light for this one. I just was not sure who else were they gonna use on that team. But if they were going to use Elena, then most likely either Jaden or Yuna was going to be paired with her. So, to my not so surprised, they did choose Elena, and then Jaden was paired up along with Jume. So I guess they didn't have confidence in their Warrior Light too much. But I felt a bit confident because I was setting up my accuracy buffs with Corwell and with Little Leela here, so I wasn't too worried about Elena. It was just Jaden and Jume, especially Jume because she started off with her hate, so not everyone's gonna be targeting Jume. But as you can see here, Jaden with his long range was able to attack my Warrior Light, but Halloween Leela was able to retaliate. Now, this is where I was a little iffy on what's going to be the outcome, because that Elena was so far away and she was buffing a lot. And meanwhile, despite the evasion up and luck up, Jume was still able to hit my units. So that tells me that the team does have accuracy on their side. And now all my units are grouped up, so Elena's going to come in with all the slash attacks in the world, doing big damage to my units, knocking out Little Leela, and Jume renewed her hate, so I knew at this point it was over. Now I know yesterday I said I was gonna switch some teammates around, but the units I wanted to use mainly was Golbez, Little Leela, and Lumiere to combat Elena teams better. I noticed that they share the same Espers as the light team that I was going to keep. So I decided I'm not going to spend time trying to resonate other Espers right now. I'll just say that for the future, and I'll just stick with this team. So I really have no problem with this team. I like this team a lot, but I saw a lot of Elenas, and I'm seeing so many people complain about Elenas. I wanted to show off Little Leela a bit more, but I've already done that so much. So now this person had a Kayn on his team, and for some reason, I instinctively knew the Kayn was going to be picked. I don't know why, but I just knew the Kayn was going to be picked, so I went with my rainbow team for this match of Halloween Leela, Titus, and Elena. And I don't know why instincts kicked in with that, but I guess Kayn does hit hard. And to not to be surprised, Kayn was picked along with Garvel and Yuna. What was surprising is that the Kayn is only 107. So that made me think, oh, this is going to be easy, but boy, was I kind of wrong on that. And this is an example of why Kayn can be dangerous, because he hits like a truck. I don't care what level he hits like a truck. And you're going to see why in a moment. But Elena pulled ahead of Titus and was able to knock out Garvel, and boom, right there. That's why Kayn is dangerous. He one-shot Elena and removed her courage, and that was the end of that. So all left with was Titus and Halloween Leela, and you're gonna see an example of why I bring Titus to this group. Boom, only 400 damage. So Elena took 8,000 damage, and Titus took 400 damage. Titus is great against Pierce units. I don't know how much more do I have to say, but that's perfect example of why I do bring him in some of these matches. Thankfully, Leela was able to revive Elena, and Elena was able to retaliate and do some revenge of her own, knocking out Garvel again and doing damage to Yuna, locking her into healing. And then Kayn, boom, Elena got her revenge on Kayn. Like, don't one-shot me ever again. And then now all that's left is the 120 unit. But Kayn is a scary beast, and this got me scared a little bit because this unit had Raze on, which it made me realize that sometime down the road they fixed it so that full life now will cast first, and then they'll cast Raze afterwards. That was never the case, so a lot of players will just turn off Raze. That way full life can happen. But somewhere along the road, they changed the healing AI, so now full light will always cast first and then Raze afterwards. Oh, I have to test it, but that's what it feels like. So next up, we have an Earth team and a Dark team. I figured they were going to use their Dark team, so I believe here I used my Light team because I still haven't used Fina and Fina. I still haven't used Fina yet. So I went with I went with my full Light team because there's no way they were going to use their Earth team, seeing that I had 2 win units. So definitely they were going to use their Dark team. So it'll be Light versus Dark, which is going to be common in these types of pickup matches. Like if one person has Light, one person has Dark, more than likely it's gonna be Light versus Dark in the end. So I was right. They have a Dark team with Keenblade, which got me scared a bit because Keenblade is a very nice strategy to help pull ahead, and I'm not really prepared for Keenblade strategies, just like how I was not prepared for a double quick and Leela strategy. But even with the accuracy boost, the Dwayne was not able to hit Lena, and Helena was also not able to hit the Elena. So Elena was able to live through those attacks and retaliate right back since everyone grouped up so nicely. But she was only able to target 2 units, which is fine because Fina here just finishes the job. And now all that stuff is Mirror Knight Stern, which I don't see too often. I have him myself, but I really haven't bothered to raise him. I feel like there's more to him than meets the eye, but I'll study him and see how he is down the road. I'm not really in a hurry to use him. But other than that, this was a pretty easy win for Light. I haven't run into a Dark team that has been dangerous, but I know there's Dark teams out there that are dangerous. I've used Dark myself. I'm more on the Light side than the Dark side. I'm sorry guys, but I have used Dark as well, and I know that Dark can be Light. That's all I'm saying. So now we have Wind and Lightning. I didn't know how to approach this. I did see that there was a 2B, so chances are that 2B was gonna be used, and the person did pick really fast. So I believe here I decided to use my accuracy team, which was Coral, Warlight, and Leela. So yeah, I did do that. But I'm not too much afraid of Cloud anymore after the 2 run-ins I had with Cloud before. Now I'm more afraid of Ice because I feel like I'm not doing so well with Ice, and Ice does feel underrated. So I was right, they did use 2B along with the other 2 win units. So my confidence was pretty good in this matchup, except more is the wild card here because she's very new as a unit, and I have her myself, and she can be dangerous if you use her correctly. And I've seen other videos of people using her correctly, and she is very dangerous, but I do not know how to approach her just yet. And one thing about my setup for Warrior Light, which is Henderson because of her, is that Warrior Light's holding the light ring from the tower event, and the light ring gives negative status to poison when holding it. So Warrior Light's even more susceptible to poison. But the exchanges, the changes for the buffs they got was worth it. I'm just now doubling down if I should keep that ring, because more is going to be more popular once more people realize how good she is, because she's, in my eyes, she's a good unit. And as you can see, poison triggered, which allowed other buffs, debuffs to trigger, but it didn't matter because we're like died from poison. And then Coral died from 2B, and now it's Halloween Leela versus 3 units. Surprisingly, my Halloween Leela's been taking hits pretty well. I'm not expecting her to live some attacks. Sometimes she lives attacks unexpectedly. And here is where I lost, because Warlight decides to move closer to Halloween Leela and then to do his taunting spell. And that caused me to match, and I was like, well, that's fine. It's whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, Halloween Leela has been doing surprisingly well in terms of taking hits. So I'm happy about that. So now the final match is Dark and Earth, and it felt like a repeat from earlier, so I figured they were going to use Dark. I decided to go Light, so that it'll be another Dark versus Light. The chances of them using the Earth team was way less than, because I have the 2 win units at my disposal. Of course, I had to figure. I don't recall how well my Light team does against Earth. I think I only faced Earth once during this week. I have to rewatch my videos, or someone could comment if I did or not. But yeah, so because back to the story about the other units. So yeah, because of the overlap in Espers, I just kept this team, and I'm just gonna keep this team for the remainder of the week. It's gonna be not much of a headache, but it's gonna feel like a reset, because then I have to figure out how those units work on this map, and I'm already comfortable with these units. Alright, now that the loading's over, because loading takes forever sometimes, I was right, Dark versus Light. So we often see this a lot, and there's not much else to say. Like, I wasn't I was confident in this match, because I don't think I've lost to Dark yet in this week. Maybe I have, but in terms of the Light units versus Dark, I don't think I have much. But Helena is doing her thing, Elena did her thing, and then now Golbez is doing his damage, and they almost knocked down Warrior Light. But luckily he was able to survive the hits, and he was able to retaliate with his LB, and now down goes Helena, and now Fina was able to heal both of them up, and Elena is able to retaliate again. So now there's 4 chains on Golbez. Chain number 5 on Golbez, so Golbez goes down. All that's left is a Dwayne that almost killed Elena. I swear, every person that has Dragoon on their job is a threat, because for some reason Elena has problems dodging from air attacks. I don't know why. But that was scary, to say the least. And then Dwayne jumping again was scary. But this time he went after Warrior Light and not Helena, which I was happy about. So now that he's grounded and Fina's staying back like she should to heal, Elena is able to finish the job. But that will do it for day 5. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next time. Laters.